Hi, thanks for joining me. I am going to show you today how I made this little A2 Snow Hills card. This is a card that was inspired from Mix Up Craft. She does a lot of bendy hill cards, and I took that idea and I made it A2 and I made Snow Hills. It stands up and it has bended sides so you can compact it. And then on the back is a nice area where you can write your message. I made an SVG file for all the little snow hills you can purchase from me, or you can cut your own, perfectly fine. So today I'm going to show you how I put this together and how I decorated it. So first, if you have my SVG, you're going to get these 3 panels. The two pattern papers that you would want to use, one is larger than the other. The larger one goes on the back and the smaller one goes on the front, and you just glue them together. So you're going to want to make sure you use one-sided paper for this. Otherwise you can use solid card, doesn't matter, or you can cut 2 of the bigger one and glue them together and then put solid card. So I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 glue, and I'm going to glue the panels together. Of course, I use the Beacon 3-in-1 because it dries a little stiffer, making that card just a little bit more durable, able to handle all the excess weight that is going to come with the bendy tiers on it, as well as all of my decorative elements. So I glue that, and I just want to make sure that it's nice and centered in the card, and then the front looks like it has a nice little white border around it. And like I said, you could cut out 2 and glue a second panel in between them so that the border is whatever color you want it to be. I chose white for this particular one. Then if I flip it over, I stamped Merry Christmas on my little white piece of card. This is where I'm going to write my message to my receiver. And once again, I'm using the 3-in-1 because it will just add another element of stiffness to the back of this card. Pretty much all the elements are glued onto this piece, and so the stiffer and thicker it is, the better it is to hold all the weight of the elements. Once again, just make sure this is nice and centered, and you can see it all comes together well. You got a nice back, and if you flip it over, there's your front of that panel, which is going to end up being the last part of the tier on our bendy tiers. So now I'm going to bring out my bendy pieces, and there are 4 different pieces of this. And I did my SVG in solid score lines just so that we didn't have any perforation tears. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold those 3 fold lines together, and it's just going to be like a fan fold. You're going to do a mountain fold, and then you're going to do a valley fold, and then another mountain fold, and then you have a nice little tab that goes in the back there that you can glue on. You're going to do the same on the other side. Mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, and there you have it. There's your first tier. And you can see that the tabs stick up a little bit past. If you're cutting your own, you can cut it however you want to. My SVG, the tabs just stick up a little bit. That allows you the chance to trim it off where you want to. But you kind of want them to hide behind the snow hill. And so you're going to just do this on all of the pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and speed it up while I do that. Alright, so now I have all of my pieces folded, and now it's time to just put them on, and you just start from the tallest to the shortest, and you're just going to layer them up. I like to look and make sure that they're going to look good before I glue them. They're going to end up like this, and I did stamp a little stamp on the bottom piece with a little sentiment, "No wonder I like you." So just to add a little bit of an element there. You can do it however you want. So we're going to start by gluing this piece onto the back. And you're just going to use the tabs on the back there, and you're going to glue it directly onto that back piece. Once again, I'm using my 3-in-1 glue. Use this for a lot of stuff, so that it's nice and bonded. And the nice thing about this is it also gives a little play. So if I lay it down on the card wrong, I have a few minutes or a few seconds to squish things out into the position that I want before it starts to really set to the paper, and that helps too. And then once it glues really strong. So I'm going to start on one side and get it lined up. Just push down on those bends and burnish a little bit, get it to here, and then I can just come in with my second side, and usually it'll just go right into place. And then I just burnish. I flip over and burnish from the back as well so that the glue really sticks. And there you have it. There's your first piece. And even with just one piece of the snow hill, it stands up pretty well. And then I check my sides, make sure that all of my edges are flush. And there you go. So there's our first tier. We're going to pretty much do the same thing with all of the other tiers. And you don't have to do all 4. You can do 3 or 2, however you want to do it. It's your card. And here we go. So that is our card all put together. These are all the elements that come with the SVG file. Now it's up to you to decorate how you want to do. I love how they stand up, and it flattens down to fold. If you squeeze it, you can stuff it in an envelope. I put this one in the person who received it. I put it in just a regular A2 envelope, and it fit just great. And it kind of gives a bounce when you pull it out, so that's nice too. It's kind of a surprising little element for the receiver. So now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate. I have these little penguins that I colored up that we're going to use to put on the snow hill. This comes from a Whimsy stamp set that I bought. Now they don't sponsor me. They have no affiliation with me whatsoever, but I do like their stamps. This one is called Penguin Snow Days. It's by Chrissy Armstrong. I really like her stuff. And these little penguins fit perfectly on the A2 card. And so they're actually what inspired me to make this card, because I wanted some little snow hills for them to be skiing and sliding on. So here I'm just gonna put these into position where I think they will look good. I want to make them even, and I also want to get all of them in and used. So I'm going to do that. And you don't want any of your decorative elements to go past the edge of the card, otherwise it's not going to fit into that A2 envelope. So you do want to take that into consideration. Alright, so there we have it. We have our nice little card here. And I'll show you the one I made previously. And I added a little bit of snow glitter onto this so that it would just have a nice little sparkling sheen on the snow like it gets on a really cold, freezy day. So now we're going to do that. I'm going to take some glitter and some glue. I'm going to use my little glitter tray here that I bought from Michael's. to do this. I always line my glitter tray with paper so that it doesn't stick to the tray, because even with these special glitter trays that are supposed to be non-sticky, they got static. So I'll use my paper lined tray, and I will just take my art glitter glue. I get that from Amazon. And I'm just going to take my fine tip bottle, and I'm going to just draw a glue line right on the top of the snow hill. You make it as thick as thin as you want. I'm just going with a thin line because I don't want too much bling. Just want the illusion of a little bit of glitter. Go back over it to fill in any of the gaps. Draw my line in. Just don't be afraid to take your time and make sure that you get those lines in good. And then I'm going to take my white glitter that I got in some kit I've had in my stash for years. I'm just going to pour my glitter right over it. Like so. Make sure you get every area, and then you can just kind of tap it down. If you don't have a glitter tray, just do it on a piece of white paper. Tap your glitter on, and you can see now you have this nice little snow effect. I'm going to do this on all 3 corners. And there we have it. Now we have all of our little snow hills coated in glitter. Just adds a nice little touch to the card. And then the beauty of my glitter tray here is I can pull this off, give that a nice little tap. I've already lined that with paper. So I use my little brush to brush off any excess glitter, collect it all down in the paper in the tray. I fold up my paper, and I just pour it in the bottle. A lot of crafters don't like to use glitter because it's kind of messy and it gets everywhere, but I still really love glitter. So I use these methods to just kind of keep the clutter and the shine to a minimum on my crafting surface. I can just put that away. And then I do have some excess left, so I just use the brush, kind of brush it all to the side with a spout. And like I said, these trays are supposed to be static free, but they're not. And that's no fault on their own. It's just the product that you're using is just collect static. So I use my brush to get as much of that glitter in. Glitter's cheap, but I still don't like to be wasteful. And then I get my tray all put back together. Get that cap on the glitter bottle so that I don't have any accidents, which I've had many times before. And then I use my little desk vacuum that I got at Michael's to clean up my surface. Just don't want any excess glitter on another project or even on this product in the places I don't want it. I even use my vacuum in my glitter tray. Catch the excess. I love these little desk vacuums. They are so handy. I'm even going to do it on my paper so that the next project I use doesn't have my white glitter mixed in with it. And then I can just put that away. And then that is the product that I used before. I had put one together before I recorded, and I put these little sequin gems on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that as well. I have these little glitter sequins that look like little snowflakes, so I'm going to add those. And I also have some little snowflakes that I got in a kit somewhere. So I'm going to use my diamond painting tool. This is a wax tipped pen to pick these up and place them in the right place. I'm also going to use my art glitter glue. For this, it works perfectly for adding elements on. I use it for my stamps, I use it for everything. And I use my fine tip and I just put a little dot of glue. And I use my little wax tip pin and I go ahead and just place them down in a nice orderly manner. And it puts them in the right place. And I try to do my adding of the gems and stuff randomly so that I don't have them all in the same place. But these little white snowflakes, I want to make sure that I put a little red gem in the middle of, just so they stand out a little bit on the paper. It makes them a little bit easier to see. So I take, these gems are technically sticky backed, so it's kind of hard to get off the paper, but once I get them on, I just put a little dot of glue and I put them right there where they belong. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my glitter on. And there we have it. Here is the final product of my decorating and putting together of my snow bending card. Once again, you can purchase this on my Etsy shop. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love how it just has this little bounce in it, and it'll fit perfectly within an envelope. Thank you!